Welcome traders, Dr. Keith here. In today's video, I'm going to do my honest review of Apex Trader Funding. Okay, and just full disclosure, I do have over six figures in payouts just from Apex itself. Okay, so I am living proof that they do pay out if you follow rules. Does that mean every single payout I've requested has been approved? No, because I have broken rules. I've done things that are against what they look for you to do to be a consistent trader. But overall, I've had six figures in payouts of Apex. That's the first prop firm I started using over a couple years ago. And I'm going to give you my honest review of Apex right now. Okay. All right. So with that, folks, what is Apex Trader Funding? For those of you that are brand new, what we call a prop firm, proprietary firms, folks, is that you pay an initial fee. So let's say you pay for an evaluation account $20. Okay. And with that, they give you in simulated money 50,000. So for $20, you now have a $50,000 trading account. Sounds great. Okay. And then let's say as you're learning how to trade in evaluation, your goal here is to make $3,000, okay? And your overall risk of getting that account closed is if you have a $2,000 drawdown, okay? So let's say you go in and you oversize and you don't have a good strategy and you get blown out. Okay, so that 50,000 went down to 48,000 and you got blown out, right? If you're using a traditional brokerage account, you actually lost $2,000 and that can really, really hurt, right? But when prepared with prop firms, with like Apex, you're just losing that $20. Okay, so you can see here, one is not only a great way to learn how to trade. That's how I started a couple years ago. Not for me personally learning how to trade. I've been trading for 20 years, but to teach my son, but have some skin in the game, right? But then as I started realizing the power of prop firms is the scalability. Okay, Apex allows 20 accounts, for example. They're the only prop firm I know out there. That's a huge advantage. It allows 20 accounts. And think about that. You get funded, and let's say you make $200 a day consistently, each account times 20 account, right? That's exciting stuff, right? So you don't have to start with a lot of money with potential good, solid success, okay? So traders overall, again, I just want to show you here with Trustpilot, they have a really good rating of 4.3. And again, they've been probably one of the longest prop firms that have been around. They're very liquid. They've got cash. They pay. Okay, they pay out. Now I'll get to some of their disadvantages in general as well. The great thing for all of you with prop firms, there's a lot of competition. You get to pick and choose. So I'm just here to kind of guide you, show you what I think about each of these prop firms. I'll try to do a video every 2 or 3 days of the main prop firms at this point. Okay. All right. So with the account sizes, I think the 50K is a good starting point for most traders right here. Okay. You could also argue the 25K because here you have an equal profit target to your drawdown. Okay. So that's a 1-1 ratio. But most traders, when they start, they'll do a 50K to have a little bit more room to run. You get a $2,500 drawdown to make $3,000. Okay. And so it gets a little bit more difficult, as you get the larger accounts. 50K is a sweet spot, but again, 25 mathematically is probably the best option based off of that, right? Just make sure you're using really pretty small size on that, okay? And they typically will have 90% off, not every time, okay? But all you need to do, if you use my affiliate code DRK, my code is DRK for that in most prop firms, in fact. That'll give you the lowest deal at that current time. So if you're not sure and you're looking, just type in DRK at the coupon, and that'll always give you the lowest price. Okay. Okay. So what actually does it do in order to pass? Like, how do you do it? Well, with Apex, again, another advantage, a huge advantage, you can pass in one day. Okay. And I'll get to that here in a second as well. Now with the new Apex 2.0, it's all built in. So you'll know when you eventually try to request your first payout, if you're new, if you're going to get approved right away. Okay. But there's not all these crazy rules anymore. All they're basically saying is, meet the basic criteria that they're looking for. And if you do that, okay, then you're going to pass and go on to the PA accounts. Okay. There's no consistency rule. Okay. But there's end of day drawdown. Okay. And so depending on the plan, you want to be careful with that, right? So if you're trading a 50K account and a trade goes against you and you're down $300 and then it reverts and you end up making 100, just as an example there, that's okay. That's not going to affect your trailing drawdown in that. And they also allow news trading. And again, this is something I would have never thought I would be doing at all ever back over 2 years ago. But with prop firms, okay, especially if you're looking to we call it full porting. Okay, and I have a video on full porting. Feel free to watch that as well. But if you're risking $20, let's say, on an evaluation account, so $20, with the idea that it either wins or it loses in 1 to 10 seconds based on the strategy I showed you, okay, that's pretty cool because you may lose 1 or 2 days in a row, and then on your third day you have it funded. So then let's say it took you 3 days based on the strategy I've taught with that. That would be $60 plus, let's say it's $95 and that one-time fee once you pass to get funded. So let's just call it high end, like $155. So for $155, you're now funded. You're not spending 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks trying to get something funded. Okay. So I love that you can trade news. Okay. Okay. Now, the performance accounts itself, the rules and the payouts, they actually allow you for each account to keep 100% of the profits up until your first 25K. And that's per account, folks. Okay? I don't know of any other prop firm that does that. Okay, that's another big advantage of Apex. And now you can get payouts weekly once you're qualified, minimum of $500, and you have to trade 5 days. Okay? So the new rules I think are great. They also have a 50% consistency rule. That's awesome, right? That's a really good consistency. A lot of firms will have 20% or 30%, right? 50% is fantastic. And each PA has a 6 payout ladder. So after 6 payouts, you start over, right? But if you have 20 accounts, folks, okay, and all 20 of those accounts, you get 6 payouts, you're going to be happy even if you do have to start over, right? So when that first came out, there was some negativity like, oh, after 6 payouts, though, I got to start over. How many of you actually had 6 payouts with one account, right? Not many of you anyway. So don't focus, in my opinion, on that. Because again, if you can take $2,000 out, let's say, per account 6 times 20 accounts, you're not going to be mad at that point if you've made that much money that you're starting over, right? So just so you're clear on that, okay? It's very important to understand that. Okay, so as I move forward here, what are the overall pros and cons? I have my list for you. There's no minimum trade days. You can do 1 day to pass if you want. You don't have to, folks, but if you want, there's no consistency rule during the evaluation because it's 1 day to pass. You keep 100% of your first 25K per account. And Apex is really, really cheap, right? You can get evaluations for roughly, let's call it on a 50K, $20, and then roughly an $85 to $100 one-time fee once you pass. Very, very cheap. And remember, that would be your overall risk. So if you spend $125 to get in a funded account, and then all of a sudden you go to your live account and your PA account, I'm talking, and you blow it. You lose your $2,500 and you blow it. Remember, you don't actually lose the $2,500. You just lost your investment of $125. Okay. All right. Some of the watch outs, at trailing drawdown, you can read up on it a little bit. Can be more difficult end of day trailing drawdown, but you want to size appropriately. And I'll have another video that on sizing here as well. The 6 payout ladder means you'll requalify periodically, but again, I don't even really think that is a negative thing because if you get that good, folks, you're going to be just fine starting fresh with that particular account. Okay. Excuse me. Now, payouts tend to be slower than some of the competition. Okay. This is probably one of the biggest complaints now. It can take anywhere from 1 day to a week, typically, or I'll just say 1 day to 7 trading days to get your payout. But here's the good news with that. Once they approve you, history has shown you're getting paid. So yeah, it may not be instant, but they've been the ones that have been consistent through all these times getting your payout. So yeah, I would like payouts as quickly as I can get them as well. So that is, in my opinion, a watch out from the standpoint of you're impatient. Then you know what, you may want to try a different prop firm that gives quicker payouts. But Apex does pay out, which is obviously very, very important. Okay. So again, why do I recommend it? It's been around since 2021. Okay, they know the model, right? And because of that, you want to start, especially with a prop firm that if you put all that hard work and energy in, you want to get the reward if you get to that payout level. Okay. Again, what I like about it is you can do up to 20 accounts. I'm not saying as a new trader or even a veteran, you have to scale it to 20 accounts. You may never want to, but it's there if you want it. Okay. At the time of this video, I have 20 Apex accounts as well that are PA accounts. And I'm just, looking for $200 a day, grab my payouts, which could take let's say 3 weeks, but then 20 accounts times, let's say I take out $1,000 for each account, just as an example, right? That's $20,000. I mean, that is significant income, folks. And as I reminded you earlier, I've had 6-figure payouts just with Apex alone. So again, no prop firm's perfect, but overall, I would definitely say if you're looking to get started, Apex is definitely one of my top 5 prop firms. Okay. So to sign up, when you go in and you check out, you could just type in code DRK at the coupon. That'll give you the best deal. I think the bundles are fantastic now. It's much faster. So as I showed you earlier, if you go here and you go into you don't have to, but if you want to buy 5, for example, you click on the 5-pack, you type in the code DRK, right? And then all of a sudden, for $19 each at the time of the special anyway, which won't last forever, but they usually continue to have specials, right? You can get that for 5 accounts for $95 and go at it. Okay. And so with that, folks, bottom line here, I think it's a great prop firm. If you have any questions at all, feel free to type it in the comments there, and I'll do another review of another prop firm here very soon. So enjoy your night. Take care, everyone.